See, it takes a village, to get this going, and I appreciate that. So to back up just a week, we were on this call last week and we had a call on Monday. There were several people that did a demonstration of what it's like to pitch your idea and your solution. So it's not just an idea, it's a solution. It has to be economically viable, and their profit has to be agreed that some of the profit, a predetermined amount, will be paid back to the regenerative group that will fund additional perpetual funds for that. Is there any questions about that so far? Any comments? Would anyone like to clarify better than what I'm doing? No?
Okay, well, let me try. The operating expenses and the ability for partnerships in community for funded projects have to be able to sustain themselves to generate remainable results that can continue without continued funding.
Yeah, so perpetual, so stand on your own 2 feet. I say it in a short way. Within 5 years, you got to stand on your own 2 feet and you have to start paying it back. You have to pay back the money that you got. So Paul, and you got your group, Myron, you guys are good with that, right? Good. Okay.
Yes.
Tomer, same thing, right?
Right. And so as you earn your way, then there's benefit for those that have been significant contributors to the success of the projects.
Correct.
Now, I hear you saying that that's where the profit sharing comes in. So we're all talking financially, how do we continue to collectively be a part, a contributing part to the success of projects that will then stand on their own 2 feet? And be able to be remainable and sustainable.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a complex issue, but to keep it simple, when you collaborate on a project and there's an agreement using Paul's app, because we're not going to start agreements without accountability and transparency. So when I say, look, Paul or Myron, I'm willing, and Thomas, I'm willing to help you guys, but for that, I expect this. Then there's going to be an app, a mini contract, whatever, a pact between the two, their group and us and me, that says, this is what I'm going to do. In return, this is what I'm expecting. They say yes, great. If not, we negotiate that, right? Then that's on them, what is the collaborative benefit, what they're going to provide. The regenerative is not going to tell everyone, they're not going to micromanage. They're just going to watch and make sure everybody's treated fairly and that the money does come back to regenerative. So we have the next funds to
the funding.
Perpetual stimulus fund, right?
Just for clarification, Rosalie, this is related to the for-profit section, isn't it? Not
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
That's correct.
So I need a little clarification. Where's the separation line between the 501c3 of regenerative and the profit business plan of 501c3?
Yeah. All right. So I call it the mama bear, the umbrella. Regenerative is the mothership, whatever you want to call it. It's the umbrella, and it brings in donations. So anybody that puts money into regenerative is a donation. And you'll have to check with your attorneys, but your CPAs, but that should be a tax deduction to you. Anybody that wants to invest, they would invest in projects, and the projects are set up through Tony. So Tony is here. He sets them up, and they're in a wheelhouse so that there is a purpose-driven corporation around that for-profit that is strategically partnering with the solution. The money goes in through there. He vets it, so we know, we know what their score is, we know what the risks are, and we know what the upside social benefit is based off of what I can do for the group, and then a few other people that are vetting those projects.
To provide further clarity for you, Rosalie, Regenerative is a 501c nonprofit. the deals that are being managed by Regenerative go through our firm. We are a licensed member of FINRA. The investment bank that manages the projects. We are co-managing a fund with Rosalie. And in that way, Regenerative stays as a 501c3 nonprofit, and there's no commingling between the fund and the 501c nonprofit.
Now that answered my question. Thank you, Tony.
Thank
I
you,
figured you'd
Tony.
appreciate that clarity. No problem.
Well, because
So see, this is the stuff I'm not good at, Rodney. This is the stuff that
know.
someone else needs to take over.
well, as I reviewed it with my attorney, he says, I read 501c3, then I read for profit. He says, so, okay, therefore I was stuck.
Yeah, and so we need to clarify that. Was that in the business summary? So Tony, if that's the case,
Yeah.
if that's in the business summary, there is a for-profit or surplus that we share with the, collaborators, but it goes through the B Corp, not through the Regenerative Corp.
But one of the interesting things about so many collaborators is that everyone's providing their feedback and adjustments to documents that are prepared, and we prepare them in a very careful, specific way. And then people get creative, not realizing that there's legal, accounting, and other issues. So then once the documents come back to me, I then clean them back up again. So, we're still going through this collaborative process and training people as we go here. And I'm making sure that my investment bank is whatever we have our name on it, it's done in the way that protects all parties.
Yeah, legal entities do matter.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you. So I just wanted to go back over the next phase here. So was there any other questions about the profit sharing or the opportunities that I've discussed so far? We all good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have the 3 people on the call. Let's see, four of us on the call that presented yesterday or on Monday. So we can either vote for one or all or none today. And just because we vote for it today doesn't mean that they can't pitch the next time or that it's not something that we'll do in the future. It's just that for right now, we're just saying this is the project that we would like to move forward on now. Right.
And as a reminder to all of you, you all reached out to me saying, hey, what's my next step with US Capital Global? And the response is, hey, Rosalie and Regenerative have set up a process where you present and then collaboratively the group provides feedback. And that's what we were waiting for. So now you have this meeting today and Rosalie is going to now get that feedback. And if it's a go, then, hey, we'll send you the next steps for sure. I mean, we have a very prescribed multi-step process that's been vetted for many years on what to do next. But the first thing when we're working with Regenerative is this extra step that US Capital Global doesn't do, but Regenerative does, which is to say, is this a project that we're all feeling comfortable with and we want to endorse?
Okay, thank you.
Right? Because
yeah.
all of you on this call have reached out to me saying, hey, Tony, we're ready to go. We did our presentation. Is US Cap going to now move forward with us? And I'm like, whoa.
Well, yeah.
Let Rosalie do her thing first.
Okay, so what we're gonna do really quick right now, and I know that 15 minutes seemed like a short amount of time the last time, but we only are gonna take 3 minutes. One person's gonna recap what you are promoting, so in 3 minutes, it's what are you asking for? And what are you benefiting the group with, or what problem are you solving? And then leave some questions and answers. And so, well, first of all, 1 minute to describe your project. What are you asking for? And then leave answers and questions for questions and answers time. Okay. So does anyone want to go first or shall I start?
Think of it as just a reminder of what happened Monday. I mean, don't get too technical about it, but
No.
we only have a short period of time here. So
right,
the idea is just remind everyone about what was said Monday so that while they're thinking about that endorsement piece, what are the highlights that they should be keen in on is what you're wanting to do here.
Right. So does anyone want to go first? Rodney, you want to go or you want me to go?
Sure. I'll go ahead and go first. So we're offering, our offer of what we're offering is at least the first five users of a fully comprehensive communications system for communities. So more in the line of rural communities, sustainable communities. Our first 5 will require a cash infusion of 1.25 million. We will then establish the infrastructure, training, equipment, and the operational capability with those 5 users in the states where they choose, give them protected market area. And in return for that, they will have opportunity to have stock ownership in a portion of 208 Wireless, a business integration, an S Corp that is managed through Rodrome Enterprises. And they will have stock options as well as a return on investment through invested capital.
Any questions for him? We have 2 more minutes. That was good. 2 more minutes to ask him questions, or 1. No? Okay. All right, I'll go next. So I'm with Rosalie with Regener8tive. We have an accountable hand up proposition called Zip Grows, which actually is a mentoring program for youth and veterans. In exchange, we teach them how to grow hydroponic or local food, and then the food is then sold on the market so that they have the ability to sustain this program through the revenue. The revenue also is returning the investors' money into the, so whatever the investors cost, it costs them to put the program together, they will get their money back. And then also the additional money will be shared with, a revenue will be shared with a Regener8tive perpetual fund to stimulate or to fund the accountable hand ups that we do through this program. So if a veteran or a youth comes up with a good idea, they'll have money in a pot that they can use to start their business. And I am looking for mentors to help me with this project and a project manager for this project. And I'm looking for, and I need 25 mentors to start with. And I'm not looking for any funding to start with. And the accountability mentors will need to require to be available for 1 hour a week to start with, and up to 3 hours if they so choose. Any questions? So I'm looking, okay. All right, so Alberto?
I'll go next. Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm with OCR, Alberto Vasquez, and what we're presenting is the opportunity to earn recurring revenue, which in the form of royalty payments for an investment into an asset, which is a very valuable asset in the Permian Basin. The project in Texas involves purchase of those mineral acres. We are raising $3.25 million, and the money will be used to buy the land and the mineral rights, which are in a portion of this acreage in the Wallet Ranch, and the dividends will go towards 50% of the sweat equity will go towards Regener8tive Foundation, and 50% will go to TMT Foundation. Regener8tive, of course, is a different initiatives with Rosalie, socio-political improvement projects, technology enabled, and the TMT Foundation will do research and technology to enable individuals' wellness and improvement projects. So that's a value proposition. The value proposition is you will get as an investor your money back in approximately 3 years. Any questions?
Is the
Now,
collateral?
thank you, Alberto. Now, we have assisted through, again, Rosalie's endorsement and suggestion, and U.S. Capital Global did complete situation analysis on Alberto's business, as well as Thomas's business. Is Thomas with us?
Yes.
And are they going to be doing their reminder 3-minute now too?
Yeah.
Perfect, because I'll be sharing their current situation analysis with you for just 1 minute for each one, not a long presentation, but I want you all to get a sense of what Rosalie's had us do here as well. So go right ahead, Rosalie, if you want to pass it on to
Okay.
Thomas.
So then Thomas or Paul, are you presenting?
Yes. Yes. I'm Paul Rozier from Omega Paving and Management Company Group. We are we basically partner with small rural municipalities to develop infrastructure through roads and low-cost broadband. Through the partnerships, we create sustainability with a jobs creation program, and we also offer those municipalities economic development because they're connected. The major impacts happen in education, in medical services, particularly telemedicine because it's growing rapidly, and then also the desire for businesses to now become part of those communities because there's movement, there's information sharing, and there's accessibility to profits. Our road infrastructure program is different because unlike asphalt and concrete, we save 40% on the initial cost of the building, and that leaves the availability for significant profits to do profit shares with those communities and to help increase the tax base. We are looking for our project has a long term, a medium term, and a short term capital raise. And right now, we're actually discussing the short term, the immediate capital raise. And I'll let Tony actually discuss what our long term discussions are with U.S. Capital, but we are shovel ready, as they say. We are sitting on $25 million worth of letters of intent that are specifically set up to launch so that the road building and infrastructure can start within the next 90 days to 120 days. And now I can take any questions if that's enough clarity for us.
And what is your proposal for regenerative? So
Our
we
pro-
understand, we want to
for
make sure
Sure.
the group
For
understands.
There's over 702 rural counties in the United States, and our model fits them perfectly. So when we do the public-private partnering, our projects are backed by 15-year bonds, which are some of the safest investment structures in the mechanisms in the country. But we need capital to actually underwrite the equity portion for each deal. So there's a recurring opportunity to receive return on investment on the lended amount of an average of 15% per project. And we're in a position basically to continuously support regenerative on projects that typically range between $5 to $10 million per block. We have a non-competition advantage because all of our projects are categorized as pilots. And as long as they're capped at 25 miles or 50-mile road projects, we can literally just walk through the country.
So
And
so be clear with, what is it? I'm asking
oh,
to this group, how are you going to put money back in so that they have money for their funds for their innovative technology as well? How are you going to
well,
do?
from our discussions, we actually can accept the payment, the support of 10% to regenerative because it just helps augment our sales budget because regenerative is basically a capital source, but they're also a networking organization as well. So they can get us in areas of the country where we typically wouldn't have natural networks and connections. We also work internationally as well. And Thomas actually just had a conversation in Jamaica with one of the national engineers that we did projects for several years ago, and he's still amazed by the sustainability of the project and the road infrastructure.
Great. Okay. Any other question? All right. So Tony, do you want to recap on, and there's, go
Yeah, let's
ahead.
go and do the screen share, Rosalie. Just give me that control here.
Give me a sec. There you
Can
go.
I make one clarification, Rosalie?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I said the payback will be in 3 to 5 years. 3 years is our target, but that doesn't mean that the recurrent revenue or the royalties are not going to get started. We're planning to start the payment of royalties and dividends towards the end of this year. Q3 is our target.
Okay,
So it could be earlier.
Yeah, so thank you. So what happens is when an applicant to regenerative comes to Rosalie, then she decides whether we should move forward with a situation analysis or not, and whether the client's paying for it or whether regenerative is paying for it. So we've completed the first two. So for many of you, this is the first time you're seeing this. And again, I'm going to go through this quickly because I don't want to get into confidentiality issues, and Don't want to have anything but a quick review for your purposes. When we do a situation analysis, by the way, and we do anywhere from 1 to 5 of these a day, 5 to 20 a week, depends on the week. The average client on the first round only earns a score of about 533, and the goal is to be at 925. So because OCR Minerals, Alberto's company, they scored really well for the first round. An 813 is a very respectable score for the first round. We normally do 3 drafts of this document. So first draft 813, he scored that back a few weeks ago. And the next step then is to improve upon this score. And so the way that we do that, I'll share with you here. We do a quick background on the company and on the leadership team to make sure that Regenerative is engaging with people that we've been able to do a background check on. Then we go through all their documents. So we make a list of 23 documents that we would like to review, and then our analyst goes through and analyzes every one of those documents. Then we go through a series of variables and factors about the deal. Then we look at what the capital probability is. And then we run this score here. So you can see that we look at all 25 sections of our process. This is our due diligence checklist here. And you can see by percentage how Alberto's company did in all of these areas. So anything below 85% is where we want to key in and correct. Anything below 60% is a real problem, but you can see here for the most part, he's done really well. Maybe the pro forma needs some work. The valuation needs some work. For the most part, he's doing pretty well. I mean, again, a score of an 813 is pretty respectable. So that's a quick on OCR. On Omega Paving, we did this one just recently, much more recently actually. And again, they scored pretty well for the first round. An 808 is a very, very respectable score. And again, that's why we allowed them the opportunity to present this week. Because if we can see that they're scoring pretty well and that there just needs to be some adjustments made, again, we're not fully endorsing the company until they're 925, but over 800 is a really good start. Again, we ran the same kind of background, same document review, and then you can see here similar scoring methodologies here. And when you look at the scores themselves, I'll try to blow this up for you here. There's a few 70s here that we need to correct. We need to get these above 85. So that the average score becomes 925. Some of the numbers here need some work on the capital raise materials, legal review. Some of the strategic planning needs some work, but for the most part, they're on the right path. So I haven't had the opportunity yet to get engaged with Rodney's project yet to put one of these together. But Rosalie and Rodney have been working closely together for the last couple of weeks, and Rosalie felt like he was strong enough to have done the presentation Monday, but we haven't yet started this engagement process as I just shared with you. Any questions about these 2 situation analyses that were completed?
No, I just know I pick good people, and so I am thankful that I'm thankful to know this group.
Yeah, I know that companies below 800, we would not be sharing them with you.
Mm-hmm.
They need way too much work. If you're below 800, there's probably too much to do to have a presentation at this at this juncture.
Good.
That's kind of our cutoff to get a presentation with Regener8tive, be at least at 800, because sometimes, to be really candid with all of you, very often a company that's over 800, unless there's some deal killer issues going on, it's really a matter of documentation, due diligence, and follow-up to get over the top of 925. But a company that's more like 500, there's probably a ton of work that needs to be done before they're ever ready for a presentation.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so with that, how we will vote is not now. What I ask you to do is you have my email, send me from each group, that's on the call, send me in my email, the group, give me your top one and your second one, your first one and your second. We're going to do it kind of in a unique manner. And doesn't mean that if we don't pick your group today, and then again, so Regener8tive board has a vote, this group has a vote, and then the people that would be raising the funds have a vote. So that's how it's going to work. So there's 1/3 of the vote will come from this group. It's kind of people's choice here. And
I like that, the people's choice.
the people's choice.
Rosalie, do you mind if I make a quick announcement before I have to do a 12 o'clock meeting?
Yeah.
I'm going to share the screen one more time and then I'll give it back to you. I wanted all of you to know this press release is going to be going out tomorrow. But U.S. Capital Global announces Las Vegas expansion, new cooperatives, Las Vegas executive team. U.S. Capital Global announced today its expands fintech and back office operation. The company's moving its due diligence, underwriting, advisory, and advisors association executives to and support staff to the UNLV Harry Reid Research Technology Park on the west side of town. Our CEO was with me yesterday and he gave this quote: "The move is a natural fit for our growth of that of our portfolio clients. The UNLV Office of Economic Development has welcomed us with open arms. We're excited to partner with them under a number of fintech and investment capital initiatives. Confident Tony Drexel Smith will lead our Las Vegas team in collaboration with all parties." We actually got to meet with the master developer Gardner Company, with their partner and Vice President Dan Stewart, Office of Economic Development, interim VP Bo with UNLV Cooperative, Facilitech owner Quinton, and the lead advisor at UNLV's Small Business Development Center. So we're pretty excited. We just hired 3 new vice presidents on my team as well that will all be moving to that new office. So we're very excited to be part of the Blackfire UNLV Innovation Center effective tomorrow.
Yay, yay.
And Rosalie's coming over there tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to be introduced to them. We're going to be introducing her and probably get her a little office in there so that she can, be part of that whole crew and get Regenerative, involved. We've got 100-person classroom in there. Well, you can fit 100. And during COVID, they're saying 30 people, but it's all high tech, fastest internet on the planet. 6 supercomputers run the facility. It's pretty exciting for us to move our facilities over there.
Great, great. All good news. Tina.
With that, guys, I have a 12 o'clock, so I got to run. Everyone have a fantastic day. Rosalie, thanks for inviting.
Wait. Tina's got something.
Before you go, just a quick question. If somebody comes to you and they have like a 500 score, do you help them raise the score? You give them
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got 4 staff members whose only job is to do that. And they're all MBAs. They're all really intelligent people. That's the largest reason why we came to Las Vegas 7 years ago, is we recruit the I go over and spend time with the MBA program 3 times a year, and I pluck those highest graduating students out to come work for me. That's what I do. I pluck them out of there. All 4 of them now run that division in terms of, and one of them got her MBA in entrepreneurship. One got an MBA in new business enterprises. One got her MBA in what's it called? Business finance. And then I did recruit one guy out of Virginia, West Virginia University, because he graduated #1 in his class in business finance. And he flew all the way out here to be interviewed. So even though he wasn't a UNLV grad, I still hired him.
Great. Thank you. That's great.
Thanks,
news.
Tony. Okay, so we'll talk to you soon. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, bye.
All right, bye. So what we're doing is moving forward. This is not a talking group. This is an action group. We're the walkers, not the talkers, right? So if anyone has anything to pipe up about today, go ahead at this point. Otherwise, I'll continue on with the meeting. Anybody else? No? Paul.
One question. Is the 4 groups that we listed and presented and summarized right now are the ones we're voting for?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we could vote for the 4, for 1, for, you want the first 2?
1 or 2. You have to pick your top 2. Top 2. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Because we're all great. And I think that we're all great. And you just have to look at what is the cost. And the group, like, we've got a little bit of funding and we're moving this into some other sources. We'll be getting a lot of funding here pretty quick.
All right, Rosalie, just want to check in and make sure you got hosting control back.
Yes.
Because I left and realized that you were not the host, but you are now, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'm out of here.
Bye. All right, so and then Paul, you had a question?
Right. Actually, a comment more than that. I wanted to make sure that because our offering has a number of components to it, I wanted to make sure that we were clear on the messaging that we gave today. So we really are a economic development and innovation generator, and we use the roads and infrastructure to actually support that and create new opportunities. But today, what we're actually looking for is to acquire the land that gives us project control for the bond ratification. So that is that $175,000 investment that we were looking for.
Which
But
is underestimated, right? Because it has
absolutely,
equity in it. So at 175, and the people, if we put this up together, there would be a lien position. Would we be in first lien position on this?
you actually would be in first lien position, and the property is undervalued by $1,500 per acre. So it's
So
instant
what's that?
equity.
So
That
what's that?
How
How many acres?
yeah, that's 59 acres.
Okay,
So $175,000 investment on a $263,500 asset.
okay. Plus the enzymes and the inventory.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
And the USDA grant,
guarantee.
bond guarantee.
Yes.
Okay,
And the enzyme, the purchase price for it is $350, and we sell it to municipalities for $750 per gallon, and they pay for it.
wait, it's $350 a gallon, $350 a
50,
gallon, and you
yes.
tell them pay 700. Well, that's a good
And we,
markup.
it's
Our
an,
smart little government, huh?
it's an
They're-
excellent. Well, the sustainability is powerful because even at that price, they still save 40% on road infrastructure costs.
Wow,
So
wow.
it's an amazing cost saving. So they pay for it all day long. But
Okay,
so I just wanted to point that out.
yeah, okay, thank you. All right, anybody else? We're good. So any other questions? We'll just get two votes and send it in to me. Now we have another person on the call. Tomer, you were, so in 3 minutes, I just want to go ahead and give you a chance to explain. And then Tina, if you don't mind, can we do a 10-minute special with what you do? And anybody interested in what I'd like to always start with, and we didn't. So can you, everyone just say, like, how were you when you first got on the call? And then at the end of the call, again, I'd like you just to do a checkout. That's how I do it. So I forgot to do my check-in at the beginning of the call. So if you don't mind, let's just take a minute. And just, if you want, you don't have to, because you don't, that's not necessary. But if you kind of go across the screen, that might help. But I am, I'm Rosalie with Regener8tive, and when I got on the call this morning, I was flustered and excited. Anybody else?
I'm Alberto Vasquez with OCR Minerals, Texas, and I'm very excited about the landing of our rover in Mars. So we're going to be interplanetary today. It's in about half an hour, I guess, or something like that. 40 minutes.
Tina's upset because you're not,
Yeah,
why are you going to miss it?
no,
It's going to happen with or without you, sis.
No,
Oh, you want to watch it?
Of the landing on Mars at 11:15 or Pacific. I don't know.
I believe it's 11:45.
Yeah.
It's a 7 minutes landing. Yeah.
But but it's 12:07.
Sorry, 12:45, not 11.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
didn't-
12:45. Yeah.
12:45, yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay,
okay, all right.
I'll tape it for you. I'll tape it for you.
Wanted to see the
Okay,
light.
anyone else want to go? Rodney can't hear you.
You're muted. I see your lips moving.
That's unusual. Usually you can hear me first. So Rodney Rome with Rod Rome Enterprises. I'm hopeful and I'm confident.
Anyone else?
It's Paul at Meld, and I'm excited to go out with my son into the ice-covered landscape here that is Washington, D.C., but also a little chilly right now, so hoping to warm up.
Cool. Anyone else? Okay. Tomer, you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we're just going to do a checkout, and Paul, I'll get in touch with you and after after I watch the lunar or the Mars landing. Okay, so Tomer,
Yes, please dive into the presentation. So
Hard
here
to hear
about
you,
the
Tomer.
diving world. Can you hear me?
Can you make it louder?
Yeah. So what we just saw is a diving panic situation in low visibility. This is a big problem. Now, according to the government and the DAN organization, visibility is a huge problem and cause a termination of dives and also sickness. And also we have a pool with the diving community and 77% agree that diving visibility is the most important condition. Now, what is the problem is that we still measure it with ancient technology, yeah? So here we come into the picture and we develop a solution with nowadays technologies of IoT, cloud, sensors. So this is the system that we are developing. We have a sensor inside the water and we send it to the cloud, and from there to the user application, and you can have the accurate visibility level and the trend of the visibility and other data. So why this is so important? Because you have 6,000 diving center, millions of divers. The government is also interested about this data and the research organization. Okay, so we have letters of intent, we have a market survey, we have a collaboration with the university, and we have also interest from European Research Center. Okay, so let's see where we are now. In 12 months, we want to have an MVP. In 6 months, a POC. This is the big picture. You have $6 trillion blue economy GDP and billions of dollars in ocean research and ocean monitoring. We have business models such as B2B, B2C, personal marketing, so API integration and collaboration with research science. What we need is $1.3 million. This is our team. Then here we have the references, the letters of recommendation of interest, and the financials of the company in various scenarios, 2%, 5%, and 10%.
okay,
So,
thank you.
please.
Yeah, so your technology does basically does a better job of identifying visibility issues and
Resolution.
than what's presently available. And you're looking for about 670,000. And you have the research and I saw some of the letters of intent that were signed. And then what we'll need you to do is you have to go back. Well, let me talk to you again. I need to make sure. I don't want to send you over to Tony if it's not a good fit. So seems to be, but I just want to make sure. So does anybody have any questions for Tomer for a minute?
Yes, one question. Does your device, this is a device that you're developing, isn't it?
Develop the software, the device is available on the market. So we integrate the hardware, and the 85% is software development.
Okay. Does the device has any capability for forward looking? Can you predict the conditions within the next
Yes.
2-3 hours?
Yeah, so we collect big data, and this is a solution. And then we also have real-time monitoring. So both real-time and also prediction.
Okay, because that's one of the biggest challenges when you are diving in a water. It could be, for instance, in the Gulf of Panama, we had the experience of diving, and the current is so strong that conditions of visibility change dramatically in seconds. So you could start a dive, and in the middle of the dive, just lose visibility completely. Plus being dragged by the current. So, yeah.
Good question. Anyone else? Okay,
So is your equipment currently in use?
can't hear you, Tomer.
Can you tell again the question?
Is your equipment and software currently in use, or is it still in development stage?
We are in development stage, so we are ready to start testing in 1 month.
Thank you.
All right. Tomer, if you'll go on my email again and the schedule a call with me, then we'll get you over to Tony. And I apologize for the lack of timing I had yesterday. Just had something come up. So do you have any questions to us about this group? Is it clear what we do and how we operate?
Yes, I understand the basic principles, and I would like to know what is next things I have to do. So I have a lot of business documents, business plans, and all the other mentioned documents.
Sounds good. Okay. So Tina, do you want to take us home? 5 minutes. If everyone just wants to go 10 minutes, whatever you need. Let's
Just one thing, Paul, could you reach out to me?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Rodney. I sure
I
will.
don't have my contact information. Get it from Rosalie. Let's talk a little bit, please.
Fantastic. Will do.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's always kind of fun to go from this very heady, logical numbers, all this kind of stuff to the heart space. And yet you're all heart connected entrepreneurs. So my role or my help is to kind of take a moment and see if you could just put aside all the thoughts and numbers and projects and get to a place perhaps where you're actually not thinking about anything and you're feeling kind of neutral. Not a whole lot going on. And I know sometimes it takes some time to transition to that. And one of the best ways to get there is just become aware of your feet and how they're sitting on the ground. And just imagine that there is just this wonderful energy coming up from the ground and coming through you and kind of filling your whole body, very grounded, red energy. Just letting your whole body fill up with the color red. And now just imagine that there is this wonderful energy coming from the heavens and the sky and coming right through the crown of your head and meeting all this red energy with this golden white light. And allowing the two to mix. Into every nook and cranny in your head and your arms, your feet, your hands, your toes. Just take a nice deep breath all the way from the earth, all the way up into the heavens, and then back around again. So you have this wonderful flow of energy from your head, out of the crown of your head, down back into your feet, and up again. And just notice. Just imagine that you're taking this energy into the rest of your day. With all your busyness and all the things that you need to do. And then just a moment of gratitude to Rosalie and to all of you and to yourselves for putting this all together and moving this planet forward. You can just open your eyes.
Yum, yummy. I like had a pink heart. I'm like red from the bottom, white on the top, pink. Yeah. Wow. Poof. That's how I'm a powder puff pink girl. All right. You guys are great. I so appreciate you. You know, I when she says appreciate Rosalie, I don't know what it is. It just is shocking. And I don't like it. I don't know why. It's not me, it's all of us. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate all of you. I could not have done, we are, like I said, we're transforming I to we, and I appreciate that. It's a pretty big deal. I am going to do a 2-word checkout so we can jump off this call, and then we'll just continue on for the day with this yummy, good vibe that we got going on. And next week, if it's okay, I'd like to, we'll come back together, but anybody that's interested in mentoring or being involved in the mentoring program, if you want to just come back next week, we're still going to start with this program, the last 30 minutes of the program, because we'll be having dialogue, getting the next group ready to pitch for the next time, or talk about what the updates from the ones that we vote for. So I'll let everybody know on Thursday what we're doing. And then we're going to have a group that's going to watch whoever we vote for to keep abreast of what's going on. And then, but I think at the last 30 minutes or last 20 minutes, we're going to just kind of sneak peek into what emotional resiliency program looks like. So you can see that it will be a very interesting, well worth your time. It's well researched, this information, and I can send you out weekly. I'll send you out just like it's a very simple ask that you go inside, spend some time, and come up with the answers yourself so we can all build emotional resiliency. So if that's okay, if I don't have any opposition to that, that's how our meeting will go next week. So I invite everyone to come. We are going to be changing IDs, but I'll send you the new ID. If you happen to get on this one on accident, next week, we'll still have this. We'll have 2 probably Zoom meetings going on for a little bit, or we'll ask you to jump off that Zoom meeting and get onto the new ID. I'm going to get a different ID for our Zoom to make it a little more confidential, because a lot of the information we share at this point, I just don't want people jumping in. So anyway, any questions? No? Thank you all so much. Let's do a 2-word checkout. My checkout is I am relaxed. Thank you, Tina. And edified. Anyone else?
I am.
Thanks. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, no. Thank you, Paul. I am energized and grateful.
So I'll say I'm warmer and clearer.
Good. Anyone else? Oh,
I'm excited and thankful.
good. Rodney or Alberto or Tina?
Confident and grateful.
I am grateful also, and more excited than when we started. Thank you.
And Byron or Katie, you want to jump in? And I've got someone else on a call. I'm not sure who it is. It might be, if anyone else wants to say 2 words, what you are right now, before we hang up, just 2 feelings you have.
I feel happy and good. Thank you.
Good. Okay, well, Thank you all. Enjoy the Mars landing.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again next Thursday. And if some of us have to circle back today, please reach out and let's get on those calls.
Okay, I
Thank you
need
again.
Have a great
All right.
week.
Rosalie,
Bye. Yes.
Rosalie, I need to get with Rodney. He requested a
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm going to put an email together right now with both your
Fantastic.
information. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yep. You're
Bye,
welcome. Thank
everybody.
you.
See you now.
Bye.